So this is about making a buttonhole when you don't have buttonhole machine. Okay, when you don't have access to buttonhole machine, and I see a lot of their sewing machine to manually just run circle something, which over time, by the time the person applies buttons once or twice, before you know, everything is scattered. Do you understand? So today I want to show you how to make beautiful buttonholes sharp in a jiffy. Okay, and honestly, if you try this particular buttonhole style, you might end up not even to wanting to do the normal conventional buttonholes again. Okay, except you have the machine, right? So but now, if you don't have access to that machine, and instead of you using manual to just run circle, and then you now use razor to tear in between, that one is not buttonhole o. And no matter how perfect your sewing comes out, okay, no matter how perfect your sewing comes out, over time that hole turns to something else. For my people that have been doing it, you people should know what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is the dress for my wedding. Okay, normally when you cut your pattern, okay, when you cut your pattern, this particular gown, the buttonhole, the flap is in front. Okay, so I want to make buttonhole for this flap. Now I want to advise you to go ahead and cut your dress. Okay, cut it without allowance here. Okay, cut it without that buttonhole allowance that you're supposed to fold in, that 2 inches. Go ahead and cut it without that allowance. Now I will show you what to do. Just, you can even place the front and the back together and cut them together. Okay, but if you don't want, just place the two together, cut it together. Then don't place allowance, because this is the, I want to assume, you know, because it's different now, the sizes are different, I'm not getting this one correctly, but this is the normal flap for buttonhole for your shirt or for your gown. But you can try to make it wider, you can decide to make it smaller. So I used 2 inches. 2 inches is what I'm going to use. Now 2 inches, in as much as you want to use 2 inches, okay, and you didn't bring your phone to be checking what I'm doing. Yes. So in as much as you want to use 2 inches, you are going to be cutting 2 pieces of it. Okay, 2 pieces of it. So how will you be looking at what I'm doing now? So there's no need, time has gone. So you'll be cutting 2 pieces of this to 2 inches. Okay, come and use this chair and go to the other side and use it so that you can look at it. Okay, so you are going to be cutting 2 inches of it. This is the length, this particular length. You will use this length, the flap where you are going to be placing the buttonhole. Okay, you will measure it, right? So this is it, Abi. Let me just use the measurement. So this particular length is what you are going to be using to cut out this flap. Okay, to cut out this flap, and you are cutting 2 pieces of it. Okay, you are cutting 2 pieces of it. Can you see? So this is 2 inches, this is 2 inches, that is making 4 inches on the hole. Each one of them is going to be 4 inches. Each one of them is going to be 4 inches. Please remember that each one of them is going to be 4 inches. Now this is what you are going to do, depending on the distances you want for your buttonhole. Okay, depending on the distances that you want for your buttonhole. Is it okay? Okay, so depending on the distances you want for your buttonhole, you start marking. So this is my button now. I want to assume that this is the button I want to use. So you are going to place it wherever you want to your buttonhole to be. This is my button now, inside here, right? You mark here and you mark here. Make sure you mark it tight, because your buttonhole is not supposed to be wide. so that the button won't be coming out. Okay, is it okay? Be answering me so that I'll be hearing you.
Yes.
Okay, so now we go ahead. If you want it to be 2 inches space, that is for you. I want mine to be 1 inch. I want to assume that this is my 1 inch. Now I place my button again and I mark and I mark again. Are you seeing what I'm doing?
Yes.
Okay. So you give open that water and give me one bottle. Okay, this is my buttonhole number 1 space, my buttonhole number 2 space. Okay, I give 1 inch space again. Excuse me, and I mark again. Remember to mark it to be tight. Okay, thank you. Okay, so remember to mark to be tight. This is my buttonhole number 3. Okay, you place 1 inch again. Remember that you are going to be measuring it. I just want this live session to be short, so I'm just rushing it. This is your buttonhole number 4. Okay, or you know what, I don't want to make this buttonhole many. Let me just make it 3 buttonholes. So let me use this one. Let me just make it 3 buttonholes. What happened? Okay, concentrate to abeg. Let me show you this thing. So now I want to make this buttonhole just 3. Okay, this is buttonhole number 1. Make the measurement tight so that your buttonhole won't be pulling out. You give your space. If it's 2 inches you want, if it's 3 inches, you give your space. Okay, and you make your buttonhole markings again. Okay, I want to make it to be wide so that you can see clearly. I think I'll be needing the iron. Just come around. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay, so now you give another 2 or 3 inches gap and you mark your buttonhole again. Okay, you mark your buttonhole again. Now there's something we are going to be doing. Pass me the iron. Just the hand. No, hold it, hold it. Now you are going to, this side, divide into 2, fold it this way. Okay, fold it this way and you iron. Okay, another one, you fold this side again this way and you iron. Iron it to look like bias. To look like bias, the way you the way your bias looks like, that's the way it's supposed to look. Okay, pick that button for me. Check whether you can see it. I'll pick it for you.
Pick what?
Button. No, not this one. There's one black flower button on top of this carton. Okay, I did now. Okay, 4 inches, fold it this way, fold it again this way, then you fold it into 2. Okay, the same thing with the second one.
Is it this thing?
Yes, this is this. Take it for me. Okay, okay, are you you seeing what I'm doing? Are you seeing what I'm doing? Okay.
Yes.
Are you seeing?
Yes.
So you bend it again. We want to get the middle part. We want to get the middle part. Okay. We want to get the middle part line, right? This is, remember that we have marked the inside. If you follow through, am I okay? If you follow through, you see that I'm marking inside. I've already marked inside. If you did not follow me from the beginning of this live, please go back. Please go back to watch the beginning so that you understand what we did. We are trying to make buttonhole even though we don't have a buttonhole machine. So instead of you using your manual machine to just do anything, just make you forfeit, put button, make button pass, please follow this method, because some people end up sewing beautiful shirts, beautiful gown, and then just the buttonhole makes it look local. Just the buttonhole makes it everybody know that this one no too sabi, this one dey learn work. Do you understand? If you cannot access button hole, now this is I'm doing, you can use your own creative mind to do it for both shirts. You will do it for cuff, you will do it for bishop collar. Okay, if you want me to show you how to do it for bishop collar, comment on the comment section and I'll still go live and show you. But after this tutorial now, I'll be showing you I'll be using this very method. Okay, I'm making a gown for my client. For this is the material of which this is what I used. Is it showing? Okay, so this is the material. Okay, this is part of it is what I cut. So after making this one, I'm going to make this particular gown, and this is what I'll be using for the buttonhole, so that you will see how beautiful it is. Okay, so now I've marked. I will now take it to my sewing machine. Now you will follow me to the sewing machine because I need to show you how I'm doing it. You will follow me to the sewing machine and let me show you how to join it, how to make out your buttonhole. Okay, now remember we already marked. We cut out 4 inches, that is 2 inches each unfold, and we made two pieces of it. So this is 4 inches and this is 4 inches. Now that 4 inches you made, fold it like this, fold it like this, and fold it again halfway to look like bias. This is how bias looks like. Please give me that orange colored bias on the ground. Give me that orange colored bias. Let me still show you to explain to you, just in case if you are not understanding this very one. Okay, so this is what it looks like. This is what I just made. It's just that bias is always on bias, so they cut this one is straight. I cut it straight. Now this on this hole, what I'm explaining is that on this particular hole now is 4 inches. This thing you are seeing now, assume that this is 4 inches. So this is how you are going to fold it. This is that is after you have already marked the buttonhole spaces inside. You fold it this way, you fold it this way, then you fold it again this way into 2. Is it showing? Okay, you fold it again into 2 this way. That is what I did. After folding, this is 4 inches, 2 inches by this side, 2 inches by this side, 4 inches. Fold it this way, fold it again this way. Okay, now you still go ahead and fold it again like so. That is what I did. I cut 4 inches, I fold it like this, I fold it like this again, I cut another 4 inches, I fold it like this, I fold it like, but remember that we already marked. Okay, now when you fold it this way, put iron on it so that the line will be thick and very obvious for you to use your sewing machine and follow. Okay, for you to be able to use your sewing machine and follow. Now let's go to the sewing machine. Come on, help me. Let me go to the sewing machine. No, 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 no. Leave it. Let it be ready. Let's go. Let's go to the sewing machine so that you see me join it and you see how I'm joining it. Very, very, very good. Life is worth it. Okay. Okay, so I already thread the machine. Is it going? I'll be doing something I marked, so I want it to show. Do you understand? Check whether you can see this thing.
Let me just bring it close.
Shift the stand. Shift the tripod. Are you seeing what I'm doing? Bring it very, very close. Very, very close. I need these markings to show. Why is this thing not picking? Okay. Is it showing?
Mm.
Okay. Is it showing? I need this marking inside now to show. Is it being seen very well?
Not too well. Yes.
Raise it up a little. Okay. So you can see this. This is the buttonhole I marked. This is the buttonhole I marked. Okay. This is the first buttonhole. This is the second buttonhole. And this is the third buttonhole. Now you are going to place like this. This is the first flap. You turn it this way. Okay, you turn it. It's not difficult at all. By the time you do it yourself, you will understand. Now this is the first buttonhole. This is the first flap, okay, that we folded. You place this one exactly like this on top of it, right side facing each other. Right side facing each other. Are you seeing what I'm doing? Okay, right side facing each other. Now you are not going to sew the buttonhole that you marked. You will sew from here to here. That is the spacing. You will jump the buttonhole that you marked. You will still sew from here to here. Okay, from here to here, which is the button. You jump the buttonhole again that you marked. You will sew from here, but make sure that as you are stitching, the center line, that center line are lapping on each other. So let's go ahead and stitch it. Are you seeing what I'm sewing? Or is it dark? So now I placed on the lines, the two lines are facing each other. Okay, can you see? The two lines are facing each other. Now I will open it this way, okay, and I will stitch gently. You stop when you get to that, so that buttonhole you marked, you stop. I did do something. No one talk. Thank you, sir. Okay. The next tutorial is going to be on how to correct sewing machine faults as you are sewing. That video has been requested, but it's just time for me to do it. So it's gradually all your questions will be answered. Okay, is it clear?
Somehow.
Now I sewed up to the buttonhole I marked, and I stopped. So I'm going to the other one. I will start on the buttonhole that I marked, okay, and I will take it down. Okay, I've gotten to, even though I mistakenly jumped one, but I've gotten to the buttonhole. You jump the buttonhole that you marked. This is my buttonhole that I marked. I jump it and I start below again, and then I stitch down. Okay, I stitch down. Okay, I jump, I top stitch it so that it doesn't lose. Okay, you know, before you do this thing, depending on your fabric, I will suggest that you use stay. Okay, you use stay to hold it down. Apply stay on it. I do not have time to apply stay, so I'm just trying to show you. So you apply stay on your own, it will make it to stay put as you are stitching. Okay, and now I'm sewing the last part. Why is this thing pulling out now? Okay, so we are done stitching. Okay, we are done stitching. Okay, let's go back to the table and I will show you how it's going to look like. Oh yeah, follow me. Don't bother putting it on the tripod. Just follow me. Let's go. Okay, so now I have stitched it. Look at, show it very well. Show it very well. Don't let any part miss. Now, this is the way we folded before we went to the sewing machine, right? For two of them. This is where we folded before we went to the sewing machine. Now, You will now fold it back, okay, to the way it was before you started the sewing. Okay, this is it. Fold it back and then you iron. Just watch me iron this and watch how your buttonhole immediately comes out. Remember, please, before doing your own, use stay. Okay, use stay. Okay, use stay. So this is my gown now, right? If I open my gown, okay, this is it, right? So you are going to be fixing this flap, this particular opening. Now you place this one inside like this, okay, place it like this, and then you hold it down, okay, then you stitch this particular side. You understand? This particular side you can turn it with another fabric, okay. You can cut a facing for this side, there's no problem. If you don't have facing, you can use a bias to turn it, there's no problem. If you don't have, you can still, except you put sewing allowance, you can now, but if you did not put sewing allowance, just use anything to turn it just a little, okay, because whatever shortage you have from here, this particular side is going to cover for it. Whatever shortage you have on this side, this particular side is going to cover for it. Now after stitching on this very side of your pattern, okay, or your dress, look at it now. Let me just assume that you have stitched it, but this is your buttonhole. This is your buttonhole. This is the first buttonhole. You can see this is the second buttonhole. Can you see? Even though it's wide, this one is wider. Okay, this is the third buttonhole. Can you see? But this is just a perfect one. Okay, you can see this is your buttonhole now. This is a buttonhole. You see the way it formed. You see the way the buttonhole formed. Look at it. Now what you are going to do, simple, is just open this side. Open this side this way. Okay, if you open this side this way, you pick this one, you put it inside and you cover it, and then you run your stitch on this side. Remember what I said, that this particular, because the measurement is a mini measurement, okay, so it's looking very big, but had it been that is a, I think I started cutting the other one. Wait. Wait, let me show you something. Okay, I already started working on this particular fabric before I decided to make the buttonhole. Before I decided to make the buttonhole tutorial. No, bring it down. That's why I always prefer to use that smaller dress form anytime I'm making my tutorial. Okay, so this is the okay, so this is the front part. Are you getting this neckline? Are you getting it? Okay, so this is the neckline now. Okay, now this is the flap that we made for it. I've not ironed it properly. When you are making your own, please do well to use stay on it. If you use stay, before you start use stay and fold before you start joining to bring out the buttonhole. So you can see that on this particular it has matched. Okay, you see that the size is okay. This is the exact size for a normal button flap. Okay, so you can see now, if this is what I'm now saying. When you place it like so, you open here like this. Okay, when you open here, you will fix this particular side into this side and stitch it. Okay, and stitch. Can you see? Now on this particular side, turn it with anything you want. You can turn it with bias. You can fold it like so, anyhow you want. There's no problem, because this is where your buttons are going to be. Okay, so you will now close this particular, it's two sides. Now you will stitch this particular side, you will close it. This side does not have work, but this particular side now is what we are going to use and turn and hold this particular side of our gown. Okay, front of our gown. Okay, now when you do that, forget about, just fix this one, close this side. When this person wants to wear, look at your buttonhole. I want to use the side that is clearer. This is the buttonhole. Okay, I hope this is clear. This is a buttonhole. So like that, this one is just a mini flap, so you have to make your own to go down, but I'm just telling you that this is now your buttonhole. Okay, so when sewing your own, when you are sewing this particular side, be careful enough that when you stitch down, you top stitch. You stitch down, you top stitch. You stitch down again, you top stitch. Anytime when you are stitching, top stitch, because if you do not top stitch, it will be losing. Do you see it? So because I did not top stitch, look at what it's doing. The thread is already pulling out. So if you want yours to be stronger, you top stitch and you top stitch. Okay, you can even come to this place too and just run a small stitch on it, and your buttonhole is ready, guys. Like for this one that is too wide now, okay, I can just come here, top stitch somewhere here. Okay, top stitch somewhere here, and before you know it, this is your buttonhole. The cocoa is that the buttonhole is neater this way. Okay, it's neater for you to do it this way than for you to use sewing machine to just run circle something and use what is it called, razor, to tear it. Because over time, as your client is applying putting button and removing button, it will slack. It will definitely slack. Okay, it will definitely slack. So if you do it that way, your cloth will come out perfect. I actually don't have, but I'm going to show you later. By tomorrow this gown will be complete, so I'll be showing you how it came out. Okay, how it came out. There's no reason now for you to say, oh, I can't sew because I don't have this and I don't have this. There are hacks on how you can do these things and it will come out perfectly well. You can see. So this is my button. Okay, so you put it like so, pass it through, it comes out, and this is your button. Okay, so you don't need to go and use sewing machine now to run here, turn it, and use the razor to be cutting anything. The buttonhole has made itself. Remember how we made it? This is the opening. But when you are done, this is the side I said stitch this place, close it totally, close it. Now this place is what you are going to use and hide this mouth. Now this very side, we did not cut allowance here. Okay, we did not cut allowance on this side. Okay, so you can bend it. That's what I'm saying, that even if you bend it, do not fear. This area, okay, is going to take care of it. Any small inches that comes out from here will take care of it. And guys, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. If you do not understand, I'll still be making a video. I'll still be dropping a video, but someone requested for this particular buttonhole stitch. That's why I decided to make this one. Now let's go back to the sewing machine. There's a particular troubleshooting technique I want to show you people how to work on your sewing machine when your sewing machine is having issues. Let's go. Please follow me. Let me just do this. Is going to be a 2-in-1 tutorial. I want to finish it once. Okay, now this is your sewing machine, and this also applies to manual sewing machine. Okay, it also applies to manual sewing machine. Move your leg. No, I want to use a contrasting fabric. Okay, so this is your sewing machine, and I want to assume that you want to sew. You are sewing. Okay, this is your machine now, and I want to sew. Look at the stitch. Is the stitch coming out well?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the stitch now. Okay, I want to show you something. Whenever you are sewing on the sewing material machine, okay, and this stitch is loose on top of here, one, or you are sewing and this side is loose, this side is loose, maybe this side is stitching well but the under is loose, or this side is stitching well or the under on the top is loose. Look at where the fault is from. If the under is loose, okay, if the under is loose, the problem is from here. The problem is from where? From here. Is it showing?
Yes, I'm
okay
seeing.
The problem is from here. If it is under, this is the problem, but if it is on top, the bobbin case is the problem. Okay, know it that if it's not everything you go and call your engineer. There are sometimes that if you do not work on it, you can't sew. You understand? You can't sew. So when you are using your sewing machine, because there's this lady, one of my viewer, Helen, I helped you to get a sewing machine online, okay, and you told me that as you were stitching that it's not actually a problem. So let me just use this opportunity to correct it. Now when you are stitching and the top is losing, if this top is the one that is loose, is not tight, the problem is from under. That if it is the under, if it is the under stitch, if it is this side that is loose, that is loosening, then that means it is from the up. Your stitch under is loose, the upper part of the machine is the problem. Your stitch on top is loose, the under part of the machine is the problem. Now what you have to do is just show this place. Now what you have to do is tighten this one. Okay, tighten this place. So it's either you if it is under, it's either you tighten this one and stitch and see how it goes, or you loosen it. So you keep testing, trying and testing and trying. So however it is, you will see it. Now if the problem is that the top part of your stitch is loose, okay, if the problem is that the top part of your stitch is loose, look at where the problem is from. Are you seeing this knot? This is a screw on your bobbin case. Are people watching? Okay, so if the problem is from under, I hope she's watching, because I told her I'll be talking about it in this live. Okay, so now I'm going to stitch now. I want to make it to have issue. I want it to have problem so that I can. Okay, where's that one I stitched before? So now this is my sewing. Okay, this is my sewing. Let the noise come down small. So this is my sewing, and I said if this top part is loose, that means the problem is from under, and what is under is this. Okay, so this is a screw right here. Okay, that screw is what you try to either tighten it or loosen it. So you just be trying, you tighten it and you stitch again and see whether it has corrected. If it has not corrected, you loosen it, you keep tightening it, you keep trying. Just know that instead of you to stop your sewing because your stitches were becoming loose, instead of you to stop, just try out before you start calling your engineers. Like now it's about to 10 and I'm still in the shop and I'm going to be working till tomorrow morning, and something like that happens, you won't say, okay, if it happens, that is the end of your sewing for the day. Okay, so if something like that happens, what you are going to do is, if the problem is from under, from on top, if the problem, as you are stitching now, as you place your machine, show it please, as you place your cloth and you are stitching, if the problem is from this top, if the loose is on this top, your thread is loose, as you are stitching is loose, just know that the problem is from under. So you bring out this and tighten this. Now if the problem is that the under part of your stitch is loose, if the under part is loose, just know that the problem is from here. So you are going to keep trying and trying until you see that your stitches is tight. Okay, I hope you understand. Then secondly, Ellen, the next thing that this machine can be used for design. Okay, this machine can be used for design. Now show this place please. Are you seeing this place? Okay, so you can see 1, 2 and 3. Now this particular one, are you seeing it? This particular one is used to reel thread for your bobbin case. This reeler, okay, this is where you put your thread, you pass it to this hole, you bring it down and you reel like they showed you. But what I want to talk about is having to run design. Now this machine can contain 3. Show this place, show this place. This machine can contain these 3 threads at the same time. This thread can contain 3. So show it, let me see. Okay, now you fix one thread here, you pass it to this hole, okay, and you fix another thread here. This is another casing for thread. You put your thread here and you pass it. So 3 thread can pass through here, so that as you are stitching, you run 3 thread at the same time. That one is used for design, if you just want to run design on your clothes. Okay, if you want to run design on your clothes. If you want me to still explain further, I will make a video. Anytime I'm designing any clothes, I will make that tutorial and show you. So guys, thank you for watching, thank you for being on this live. Okay, see you in the next video. My next video is going to be upload of this gown, the tutorial for the gown I'm making, so that you see how this flap is going to be coming out. Thank you guys for watching.